Hi, good morning, Kalula. Yes, I'd like to book a ticket to fuck it, I'll fly to George.
So you're telling me BA anymore? Are you done? Hey.
What is something?
Because I know there's a click in there, but let me tell you, I failed for them. Quavera or Quavera, something like that. Yeah, as I said, failed. I failed.
Cabeça. Cabeça.
Cabeça. Cabeça?
Cabeça.
Kubera. Yeah, it's a bit too much on a Wednesday morning. I'm shocked. First of all, I feel like there's bigger issues at hand than name changes. I feel like there's a lot of money that goes into something like this, and yeah, it's always going to be Port Elizabeth, I feel.
The research like sounds you know, what of it is in part of the indigenous language, so that come very from.
I don't really think it's necessary because we've already changed Port Elizabeth Nelson Mandela Bay.
This is here, I mean, the man needs you, but this is not a man. It's a man, but it's a man. Put it away for Sophie, Samandu, and the Pagi, like what a father was in my little here,
Okay, for me, it's definitely a bit different, first of all. But also, I think it's going to give people, like push people to actually stretch their language a bit as well. Because most people can't say that. I know from since I've been in PE, like the people I've met, I've tried to sharpen up my Xhosa quite a bit. So I think as well, like it might come to a point where people will be forced to actually learn each other's language.
Well, I suppose from a historical point of view, maybe a good thing. But if you look at it from an economical point of view, what's it gonna cost to change all these names? And then also I think maybe it's a couple of million rand involved, or maybe more. Wouldn't it be better if you invest that money in housing poor people, feeding poor people? That is my question.
I just don't feel like it's a necessary thing at this point. There are people that are like hungry and with the pandemic, people that haven't had jobs and stuff, and I'm going to say what it's going to be. There's millions of rands changing road signs and maps and all of that. And I mean, if we take Grahamstown, for example, that hasn't really, I mean, I still call it Grahamstown, so there's no real change in that.
It's unnecessary for one multi-children because Port Elizabeth against last in 2018. So it's better, I taking out ukuthi bangala kubani.
20 central magazine uqanisa ukempiti manje indleke gebere bantu bebonde kwezalanza ngapha yebo into endenza Port Elizabeth. Guys, I think all ushintsho luzaza nento right. Yabo luzaza nento right. I hope so.
Okay. Welcome to Pepper's Echo. My name's Andre. And yes, it's the ordinary man in the street looking in on the news again. And as I said, I am not the research professional or anything to that effect at all. I don't claim to know everything. I don't claim that my views are correct. I just question sometimes the news and the views. And then, as usual, I encourage you to take a look at the big guns for answers like a Ronaldo Jose, Chris Wyatt, Joe Emilio. Who else is there? There is Roman Kabanak from Morning Shot. And last but not least, sorry, Jeremy from Germ Warfare. So, yeah, pay these guys a visit, take a look at Ronaldo, And yeah, hopefully we'll have him on the show one of these days as well. But these are the guys that got the research facts. All I do is I just take a skim across the news and sometimes just chat about it and go, you know what, I'm the ordinary man in the street. I'm not learned. I'm looking at things and going, how's that? And please, before I actually start, and I don't forget to put these things in, like and subscribe. Where is it? I don't have the fingers right yet. Like and subscribe to this channel. Please share. It's the only way that we can get and I can get these clips out and these streams out, my streams. So yeah, please, if you don't mind, like and subscribe. I would really very, very much appreciate it as such. And then if you do have any ideas, if you'd like to come on the show for any reason whatsoever, if there's any topics that you'd like to be covered, doesn't have to be political, doesn't have to be South African, doesn't have to be Cambodian, can be anything else that you want to do, please drop me a mail at peppersecho@gmail.com, peppersecho@gmail.com. Please do so. If you have any topics or any suggestions or that can be covered by the show, I would very, very much appreciate if you would let me know. It doesn't have to be political as such. As I said, once again, just an average man in the street from the outside looking in. I am no professor. I am no professional. I am no researcher. I am just your every Joe, which I assume a lot of people are. You do find a lot of people who follow and intently research, but yet, we just the ones that take a look-see and hopefully come across and find out what is happening when we look at the big chaps going along the line as such. Anyway, you saw that start over there, and Port Elizabeth's name has been changed to Quebec. The new name for Port Elizabeth is, it's got a click in it, Quebec. Otherwise, just say Quebec with a K. But yeah, Port Elizabeth has been changed to Quebec. It's absolutely ridiculous for me. But anyway, I want to take a look at that a little bit today and take a look at this constant urge of the ANC government having to change every single name and everything. And let's take a look. You saw that people on the next video clip, and by no means do I claim any of that footage mine at all. As you saw, the footage was by the Daily Herald, and it's a newspaper that I frequent, and I do suggest subscribing to them as well. And they are from the Eastern Cape, so even better so. But none of the material in that is owned by myself, or do I have the rights to, or anything like that. So please do take note. Similarly to the city's long-established suburb, Kabega Park, which is no coincidence, Kabega is the isiXhosa name for the Barkens River that runs through the city, and also the name for the city's Warmer Township. The change of the Friendly City name was approved on Tuesday, which is about a week ago, 21, somewhere around there, with 21, 22 of February, along with a new name for the city's airport. So no longer Port Elizabeth International. I think I will check now again. It has been changed to David Stearman International Airport. You can just see this. Ding, ding, ding. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Thank you for flying British Airways. We will now be arriving at David Stearman International Airport. Thank you. David Stearman Airport. It sounds intelligent, but anyway. Many others, however, have been vocal about how little they approve or bemoaned a supposed lack of consultation. As you've seen, most people have woken up with this surprise, Becca. And yeah, would you like to go to David Stearman? No, just take me to the airport. Yeah, David Stearman. Yeah, just take me to the bloody airport. Okay, fine. Thank you. Yes, I know I'm mocking people, but it's absolutely ridiculous. The money involved is what worries me, and we're going to take a look at a little bit more as we go by. Boy Lamini from the Kwamaki, I don't know, was one of the people who made the original submission for the name Rebecca. Whatever you think of his choice, there was in fact consultation which Lamini participated in, and which very few of those who are now seemingly distraught bothered to. Nevertheless, people are taken aback, even angry. Now, I don't think that was given out to the people properly, because in the long run, these people were not able to give their I should say, their distaste, their words against, their disagreement with the name change. It was just all of a sudden, although apparently there was, and I stand corrected, and it might be in the pieces as we go along, there was about 139 objections, of which was just moved aside. No, Rebecca. Okay, here's some of the name changes that went forward in this last week. Port Elizabeth International Airport was changed to David Stuurman International Airport. Thank you for flying British Airways. We are now going to arrive at David Stuurman International Airport. Okay, great. Nelson Mandela Bay Area, it's an international airport. And then we got Port Elizabeth. Beautiful name, beautiful city, known as the Friendly City. It is loved. Port Elizabeth. It is now being changed to Rebecca. Nelson Mandela Bay Area, because it wasn't allowed to be known as Port Elizabeth Bay Area anymore, so it was changed to Nelson Mandela Bay. That was obviously not good enough for them. It's a city. The city of Uitenhage is now changed to Kariga, or Kariga, also from Nelson Mandela Bay City. And then East London Airport is now King Fallow Airport. King Fallow Airport. It's Buffalo City. It's not East London area anymore. It's Buffalo City area, and it's an airport. Berlin. No, I'm not nauseous. I'm trying to pronounce Bazuko. Berlin, Bazuko, Buffalo City town. Maclear town is Guankuro, Buffalo City town. And King William's town, Swansea. It's all clickety-click. Let's take a look. Oh, always lovely. Hello, Linda. Big shout out to you there. Hello, hello, hello. Sounds like I owe Ronaldo a mail as well this week. I actually didn't reply last week to him because I know he took the week off, but I will be replying, and he did say he was happy to actually join us on the show, so I'm looking forward to setting up a date with him sometime this week so we can get one in the future. But let's take a look. Hello, Andre, the lady in the clip who said we should stretch ourselves and learn more Xhosa. International tourists are going to battle with the names, especially the clicks in Xhosa. Exactly. Who else other than people in South Africa learn to speak Xhosa? Zulu. Beautiful languages. Once again, I got no problem with a different language. All languages are beautiful by themselves. But South Africa is South Africa, and it's there. You're not going to change a nation by changing a name. And yeah, imagine an American tourist or a British tourist. Good evening. Could you take me to Ubeka, please? Yeah, right. We're going to remember that. As you saw in the guy in the beginning there, he says, I'll just fly to George. But yeah, King Williamstown, Unsi, or something like that. Another question that I have in particular is all these names that are being changed, which are changed in the name of anti-colonialism, anti-apartheid. These are Xhosa names. Now, if you have a riff with someone and you're wanting to change the past, the Xhosas and the Zulus to this day are not very, very friendly with each other as well. Why would you irritate each other as such by now giving your Eastern Cape city a Xhosa name? So let's hear Arts and Culture Minister Ntati Mthethwa. said that the transformation of the naming landscapes in South Africa is a critical component of the heritage landscape as a whole. Yeah, the Kifness did a brilliant song on that. If I get to the end of the show, I think I should actually play it. I wonder if he'd mind if I'd suddenly get a huge copyright strike. Not that this show is monetized at all, but I really wouldn't mind putting it on. I know he did a brilliant song on that. That was absolutely excellent. He's got a brilliant way of doing it. Maybe I should show you. So if you guys hang on till the end of the show, I promise not to make it a long one. It will be in the region of half an hour. I'm just going over this. Linda, you're an absolute star. I should make you an anchor. If I ever get to doing a show with people on that, I need, what does Ronaldo and the guys have, these mechanics or whatever, people that bump people off for them. You're number one for me. Thanks. But anyway, he says there was a need for the name changes of this part of government program to transform South Africa's heritage landscape. The names of places we live in reflect the identity and cultural heritage of the people of South Africa, he said. The people have already affiliated themselves with the namesake, and their culture is there. PE has its culture, Cape Town has its culture, Durban has its culture, Pretoria has its culture. We all have culture in those cities, and that already. As you saw at the beginning, there are people who are saying, hey, you know what the hang? I woke up this morning and it's not what I want. And it was people of color. But anyway, more name changes will be submitted to the South African Geographical Names Committee and the Minister in the future, provided that the public consultations are conducted by the Provincial Geographical Names Committee before such names changes are submitted to the Minister for his consideration, he said. Now, I wonder how much consideration there is, because it is important to interrogate whether the public, especially those residents living in these towns and cities, was given adequate and reasonable time to make up their voices heard on the issue. Was the process advertised in due time, and were every voice considered? Given the public outcry after the Minister of Sports, Arts and Agriculture, Nathi Mthethwa, gazetted the changes, it would seem as though government was simply engaging in a box-ticking exercise under the guise of transformation and ultimately ignored the voices opposed to the name changes, the DA said. So once again, I'm not going to sing DA praises, but they're getting things right. They're noting the right things. Are we just ticking boxes for the sake of it? Because let me tell you, all those poor people that you just provide a T-shirt and food parcel to for your vote, Mr. ANC government, I don't think they really knew what was cutting. It's just like one day it's PE and the next day it's Weber or whatever. It's bordering on ridiculousness. Eastern Cape name change, the ANC has gone too far, says the DA. I think so too. I want to give you my honest opinion. I think so too. The ANC is now going overboard. And I'm going to give you a little bit of my own opinion just now as well. But the DA spokesperson, Veronica van Dijk, said it was important to interrogate whether the public, especially residents living in the towns and cities, were given adequate and reasonable time to make their voices heard on the issue. How many people really knew that this is the little sort of poison dart? I mean, especially, we're in COVID, we're in lockdown, we have economy problems, we've got unemployment problems, we've got heaven knows what problems. Do you really think anyone's aware of the fact that the ANC is throwing in this like little curveball of we're going to change names in the process of this pandemic? So was the process advertised in due time and was every voice considered, she asked. Given the public outcry, it would seem as though the government was simply engaging in a box-ticking exercise under the guise of transformation and ultimately ignored the voices opposed to the name changes. So there were opposition to these name changes, even the people that found out about it. This was clearly nothing more than a political ploy by the ANC government to garner votes in an election year. Exactly what they're doing. We're changing the name for you, brother. You are going to get food on your plate because PE doesn't exist anymore. Okay, here we go. But the decision to sideline submissions from the public by rejecting 139 objections, including 2 petitions with 180 signatures, might have been a step too far from for the ANC government. In answer to legitimate concerns about the cost of the project and suggestions on how the money could be better spent to invigorate the economy and maintain and update infrastructure, the department had the audacity to reply in a statement that transformation agenda seeks to redress the imbalance of the past. Therefore, no qualifiable price tag could be put on it, said Van Dijk. This is the answer you get. We cannot put a price tag on changing the imbalance of the past. How dare you put a price tag on the poor, the hungry, the unemployed, the economy, the tourism, GDP, services, upliftment of the communities. That's nothing. No, we got to change this name over here. Superior? Yes. What do you mean services to that area? No, the name change comes first. What a bunch of, yeah. Van Dijk said this was the same department that had failed to support the arts and culture sectors of South Africa during COVID-19 pandemic, forcing it to its knees and leaving multitudes in the industry jobless, homeless, and starving. And I don't want to be funny. I'm one who petitions for the best man for the job. I don't want BEE. I don't want all of that stuff. I want the best man for the job. And certain cultures and certain people thrive in certain areas. And when it comes to arts, culture, entertainment, I think some of our Black people far exceed and excel in this area, culturally, musically, acting-wise. I'd even say athletes in that as well, but I'm talking about musicians and actors in that specifically. They are brilliant at it. And guess what? They've just been dropped like that by their government, brought to their knees. Arts and culture, thank you very much. And this is the man shouting out, you can't put a price tag on it. The DA in 2019 opposed the name change of PE Airport, saying it would cost millions. This is what I'm talking about now. Cost, guys, cost. How much does it cost? Millions. And that would be a slap in the face of the poor in the province. Exactly what they've just done. It costs millions to change names. It's not just, oh, well, here's a new name sticker for you. It's maps, it's geographics. Linda, you mentioned it, Nano, as well. Tourists, internationally, business, it costs millions to change. So how much will a Kwaba name change cost? And nowhere does it really put up a price tag. I was actually very disappointed. Notably, I just did a quick scan, but Veronica van Dijk, the DA's Deputy Shadow Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, she said these changes will cost millions. We'll submit a written parliamentary questionnaire to the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture regarding the recent name changes in the Eastern Cape, focusing on the cost of these name changes and the public participation process that was followed prior to changing the names of the cities and the towns and the airports in the province. Nowhere has this been declared. Nowhere. They are very, very sly and very careful. Nowhere can it say, you know what, it only cost us $500 million to change this, or 150 million to change this. Nowhere does it say we've changed the name for the better, from the worst to the better. But nowhere does it say, but we took so much out of your mouth. The DA stands behind Nelson Mandela Bay Mayor Nkwabe Banga's comments that name changes for Port Elizabeth were a big mistake and that it would have far-reaching consequences. Mr. Nathi Mthethwa should be ashamed. He is a failing minister in charge of a rotten department. Said that with you. Couldn't say it better. As predicted, the EFF has joined the Red Letter Day following the announcement. Oh, nothing would be complete without Jules and his little band of red terror. We welcome the name changes as we feel they are part of our decolonization and the bigger struggle to transform South Africa. The pace of this project, however, is too slow, and we need the removal of apartheid statues. And the stem must be removed from our national anthem. The names Bloem, Smuts, Wepener, Jobe, and Rissik still form part of our cultural identity. However, this is not surprising, as the decision to keep these in place is made by an ANC government that rejected a motion to repeal all apartheid laws in Parliament. That was an EFF statement. So the EFF wants to change the national anthem. They want more statues in that throne, any form of history. Now, you can walk through many European places. You can walk through Germany. You can walk through the States. You can walk through Asia. And there you will find many historic areas, statues. There's things that don't really sometimes, in Cambodia, there's Tool Slang, Genocide Museum. There's the Killing Fields. No one changed it. But they have it as a big pain. It's a pain in their heart. It's a pain in their past. But it's there. In Europe, European past is there. In America, wherever, it's there, except South Africa. Somehow we want to wipe the board clean and not change the country. If we wipe everything clean, we think we'll change it as such. Port Elizabeth was founded in 1820 by British settlers and named in memory of the late wife of the Cape Colony's then governor. So Elizabeth, it was named after her. What is wrong with Elizabeth? Elizabeth's a beautiful name. Some see the change as a waste of money at the time when the economy is struggling. Exactly. My point, exactly. Not like you've got anything to spare. Michael Cardo, an opposition Democratic Alliance MP, said that the Eastern Cape had the highest unemployment rate in the country, according to official statistics. But we will still pull money out of the coffers for this. This is ridiculous. But hey, its towns and airports have a new bunch of names. Progress, he tweeted. I agree. And that is sarcasm at its best. So what I could find, and this was about 2 years ago or so's post, people asked, how much does it cost to change a street name in South Africa? And the costs will have to be covered directly by residents and businesses. And this is just in Pretoria. The Pretoria street names that were changed, 800 million. That's street names, people. Street names. I'm not talking about municipality names. I'm not talking about airport names. I'm not talking about city names. I'm not talking about suburb names. I'm talking street names, 800 million. Some of the costs of a street name change include, so I've taken a look, and this comes from an article, Street Naming in SA and Why It's Not a Small Pocket Change. The links are in the description down in the comments down below if you need to read the full articles on what I'm going through here. Some of the costs, new street name signage and installation costs, title deed, registration for new addresses, business stationery, including websites, letterheads, business cards, and other corporate identity costs, changes to maps, physical direction guides for new names, advertisement necessary to give notice to new addresses. Statistics show that the most name changes were made in Limpopo with a total of 318, followed Mpumalanga 136. The Eastern Cape had 134, the Northwest 127, KwaZulu-Natal 54, Western Cape 35, Gauteng 31, and the Free State 8, and Northern Cape 6. That's additional to street names, by the way. And then, it would not be the same without Jujube. Hey, Jubes. I want to show you something. EFF is pushing for Durban name change. A city's names, and they say it's named after a racist. So while the economic freedom fighters have welcomed the recent changes into the Eastern Cape, not that their little minds can fathom the economics behind it, it is still not enough for their red berets. They need more than berets. The sun's really affecting them. But anyway, the party is now pushing for a Durban name change too. Oh, Willy Wonka, in a statement on the 24th of February. The EFF said it's difficult to understand how the ANC kept the name of Durban as title of one of South Africa's iconic cities. And it is an iconic city in South Africa. It used to be and still is probably a huge tourist destination. We know that Cape Town is Cape Town, PE is PE, and we know that Durban is Durban, with Johannesburg and Pretoria in the middle. If anything, that is what people know. So why are we kicking these places? Durban. So Durban, a British colonial administrator who was denounced by his fellow colonialists, John Phillip, as a racist who treated Africans as animals, it said. The names of Blums, Jan Smuts, Wepener, Christian, Johannes Joubert, and Johannes Rissik, who combined their names to form Johannesburg, the economic hub of South Africa. These names still form part of our cultural identity, yet this is not surprising, as the very government of the ANC is the one that rejected an EFF motion in Parliament to repeal all apartheid laws it added. The EFF said the name changes are part of a decolonization and the biggest struggle to transform South Africa. However, it is unraveled far too slowly for their liking. It is at the point where they brought up the removal of apartheid statues and the removal of stem from our national anthem. That one, although the EFF has multiple city name changes in mind, not just Durban. Now, I love this non-decolonization, not wanting to colonize by the EFF, because, you know what, Al-Jubes is flown around in a helicopter, surrounded by bodyguards, has the most expensive watches, which a colonial will have, suits which colonials have. You know, it's European, the suit. I mean, you should be wearing blankets and more cultural. I'm not saying go around naked in skins, but what I'm saying is if you were really that cultural, then you should dress culturally. Flip and put a overall on like a mine worker or a gardener or whatever. You know, dress culturally then if it's culture you're looking for. But your cars are BMWs, Mercedes-Benz, bodyguards, houses in the rich estates, and all the modern technology that you want, you know, with your light televisions, your top quality cellular phones, your sunglasses, everything is colonial. Everything that you have and flaunt is what you scream against, but you flaunt it, and your people are too stupid, and I think you're too stupid to realize it as well, Jules. But you scream against everything that you need, that you use, and that is essential to you. That is essential to life in South Africa. South Africa is probably one of the most westernized countries in Africa, if not the most westernized country in Africa, which you're trying to destroy down into the dark ages again. However, you are wanting to do that for your people, but not for yourself. Right. So coming to the end of the stream, you'll see the N1 Pretoria. Pietersburg has changed to Pretoria Polokwane just below, and you'll see a whole lot of street names. And then there's Helen Suzman Boulevard in Cape Town as well. And strange how they were happy to change the boulevard to Helen Suzman Boulevard, because Helen Suzman actually was from the PFP, if I'm not mistaken, which was the original party from the DA, which was the Democratic Party, and then the Democratic Alliance. But it was all the DA, and now they're like anti-DA. But like Helen Suzman was one of those that sort of rallied for equal rights, not unequal rights. But I just want to know, all these name changes, street name changes, city name changes, has it uplifted the poor? Is there any way that the poor have been uplifted by these street name changes, by these city name changes, by these municipal name changes? Has it put 1 single cent in the coffer, in the food basket of the poor? Has it put food into the mouths of the poor at all? Other than the fact that the ANC spends additional money just before voting, as we can see, the food baskets and the T-shirts are coming around to go and give them a food packet and a T-shirt for a vote. But has these name changes uplifted any poor, put a roof over anyone's head, created a livable environment, created any form of dignity for any of the poor? Has it put any food into the mouth of the hungry? Has it created any job for a country which is violently high in unemployment, which is one of the biggest reasons for the crime? And I'm not talking about violent crime like farm murders, which is such a hate crime, but I'm talking about theft and burglary and robbery and hijacking and actual crime of opportunity because of lack of jobs. Has it provided any services? The communities, the areas which have no service whatsoever and are having poo, shit water running down their streets. Their children have to walk through it to school. They have to walk through it to work. But nothing's done about it. Has changing these city names done anything for these people? Has changing these city names done anything to increase the economy at all? Has it increased tourism at all? Has it done anything for this country? If that can be proved that just something has been done, because it's cost millions. And there was a site, it's South African to rename its capital, I was looking at, and at the bottom, the Democratic Alliance, which is strong support amongst whites, obviously, because it's a BBC freaking site, but it says, said the 1.5 billion rand the switch would cost would be better spent on improving services. 1.5 billion, and that's to change Pretoria to Tshwane or something like that, etc., which is what a nosher. It's I had one more thing over here, which just gave me the listings of changes, name changes. I don't want to read them all through. I'm going to bore you. I will stick it on the comments at the bottom. It's just different settlements in the Eastern Cape. Bishu, Kala, Nkube into Nkube. Idutwa to Dutwa, Umtata to Mtata, Queenstown, Kumani, Grahamstown, Makanda. It's ridiculous. Port Elizabeth, Weber, Quebec, Utenay, Kariga, King Williamstown. I think the whole thing of Quebec is going to become a it's going to become a joke. It's going to become an absolute joke, because man, I want to see if I can find this Kifness song. I'm sorry, I know I'm looking away and you're having a little bit of camera silence there. There we go. So I will log the Kifness's YouTube down there as well. Kifness, I do apologize if it is not right. I will cut this out of the video as well. I love watching you, though. I know you've got a perfume out. I haven't used it yet. I'm in Cambodia. We don't get tech, yeah. But guys, go and check him out. Follow him. If you don't, in the description below will be the link for the Kifness as well. I will put it with Ronaldo Ghost and Chris White and the rest of the guys as well. Thank you very much for watching. What am I supposed to say first? Please like and subscribe and share this video if you get the chance to do so. It would be most appreciated. Any suggestions, any questions, anything that you'd like, please mail me at Peppers Echo, PEPRS Echo @gmail.com. And yeah, you are watching the live echo, and my name is Andre. Otherwise, yeah, Kifness, I'm busy with Ronaldo, so hopefully he comes on, and I would love to have you on as well. And do forgive me if I am now, I need to share a screen. I need to share it with audio, otherwise we would have some bad stuff going there. But thank you very much. Be good. Take care. And remember, if you can't be good, be kind.
Kebeha konke, אחד אחד